Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It is time for Friday Night Lights, NFL DFS. It's week number 7. There's a big bye week. Some of the good teams, the Bills, the Vikings, the Rams, all not playing. So we've got a slate, guys. I'm with my friends Willie Walls and the great Swame Odell Blocker. And Willie, I'm a little worried. I said to you before, this feels like an easy slate to me, and I get worried because it's never easy when it comes to gambling.
No, it's not. When you think you have everything figured out, then your draws are pulled down. At the last minute. So you need to keep your eyes up. But listen, you still follow the process. And if the process doesn't get you there, at least you follow the process. You got to have a process. So, it happens. Sometimes people win on some dumb stuff, and then it's frustrating. So, but it is what it is. But you just continue to follow the process, and most of the times, that's why we're still in the business. We've been in the business for a little while. Why? Because we've been very successful. Why? Because we follow the process. Now, sometimes that process could be assess, but that's what you got to take. You take those chances.
All right, Swami, the process for me starts with your Baltimore Ravens. As our friend Willie Walls would say, Lamar Jackson feels like 48 weeks pregnant to have a good game. He has not had a good game in weeks. The Browns come in. Browns defense has been terrible. Is this the week where Lamar goes off again and gets his 240 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 80 yards rushing touchdown, and then we get the 36 burger from Lamar?
Doc, let me tell you. First, I have to recuse myself from any Ravens games. I'm too close to it. I'm too close to the organization. I'm too close to the team. And what I'm seeing right now is very frustrating, right? The way they're closing out games, missed opportunities, they're leaving a lot of big plays on the field. And every week it feels like the week that they're going to break out. And I feel like we're going to be doing that, just like I said about the GOAT last week when I said I was through with the GOAT. It's just very difficult to keep trying to chase the ghost of Christmas past and hope that he's going to have that breakout game. Now, with that disclaimer being said, now that I got that out there, I do think that this game will either be one of those close where the winner will have 16 or 23-point division games, or it'll be one of those games where both teams get up into high 20s, low 30s, and some fantasy goodness comes out. Mark Andrews, again, he's averaging 21 fantasy points a game this year. He averaging 21 fantasy points per game against the Browns over the last 5 games, right? He feels like somebody who you could play. And obviously, if you're looking for Lamar, who's somewhere around the 19th trimester, then yes, you could go with him because he definitely has the ceiling. And I think if they gave up 300-plus yards to Zappy, then I think Lamar could take advantage of it too. Why not?
Willie, I expect Rashad Bateman to be back. So you've got Bateman back, you've got Andrews, you've got Lamar on the other side, you've got Peoples-Jones, who is very sneaky and cheap. You got Njoku, is very dangerous. Do you like this game as much as I do?
No, I don't. I do not like the game as much as you do. Because Brissett has been looking like asset. And if you look at the last couple of games that he played. And see, this is the danger of this game. Both teams you can run on. You know what I mean? So this game might go under what you think. And listen, as much as I don't want to say it, but Drake might be in play going against that pitiful Cleveland defense against the run. But, Doc, I think this game is going to go under because I think they both run well. And I agree with Swami. I think it's going to be more of that the divisional game where, they both of these teams are trying to run the ball. I don't like this game like y'all like this game. I like some other games. So I'm going to be honest with you. I think Lamar, I'm gonna have him in, one or two lineups where I will play him out of respect and get him, with Andrews and probably Drake. And I don't want to run nobody back, for Cleveland, to be honest with you. Peoples Jones is Peoples missing, so I, no, and I think the Ravens defense is actually playing a little better. So honestly, this is not my favorite game. So y'all have at it. I'm out.
Okay. So my other favorite game, and maybe you can tell me why I'm wrong here. I don't think I am. The Chargers Seahawks. This one is chock full of fantasy goodness, Swami. I mean, you can go with the Seahawks stack. You could go with a Charger stack. You can go with a Charger Seahawks double stack. I'm all in on this game.
Now you talking. Which camera's on me? Where am I at? Camera 3? Hey, right here. Hey, listen up, guys. Now you're talking. This is the kind of game that you want to play in DFS. This is it right here. Pick your poison. What do you like? You want Mr. Eckler? You want Mr. Walker? You tell me what. Both running backs in play. I tell you, I'm interested in at least the Everett side of the tight end. Some people even talking about Disley. I don't want any parts of Mr. Disley. Hey, love you, Disley. I know you watch the show. Along with Mr. Williams. He's in play this week. Love him. Lockett, especially if he's a go. I know he missed some practice time. Mr. Lockett's a go. Love him this week. Metcalf, he's Mr. DK Metcalf. It's so much to like about this game. I'm telling you, I'm going to have a part of this game in every lineup. No question.
Willie, is this game, and I'm not going to jinx it because I love this game, feels too easy, this game. Could it be over-owned and then we get caught because now 50% of our competitors have the same game that we do?
No, because some of the people are going to like the Ravens. They're going to play that game, Then you got the Kansas City game, Then you got the Raiders game, which could be, a little something, too. So I don't think it's going to be, it's going to be popular, but I think you could have a comeback. I mean, Geno's in play again, where he had a horrible game. So a lot of people will be off of Geno, that kid at running back for Seattle can run. And what do they give up the Chargers? They give up 5.7 yards per carry, which and you could even see it in the game with them, even though they got those broke back mountain running backs they got, so even with those rascals, I'm just telling you, this game, and now you're talking, I'm interested in all aspects of the game. I'm not going to touch the tight ends.
You're not touching Gerald Everett?
No, because you know why?
For Cocoa Puffs?
You got Parham. They got
playing.
Huh?
Parham's not going to play.
Oh, he's out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I have interest in everything. Okay.
Let me confirm.
While Doc's confirming, let me go ahead and give a disclaimer.
Parham is out.
Hey, people out there. Those views belong to Willie Walls. They do not reflect the views.
Hey, listen.
Roto, our producers.
Hey, you know what? Well, he's in play, but he's still not my favorite tight end because you know how it goes.
The Seahawks give up the most points to tight ends and average.
I understand, but you also got Mr. Keenan Allen who's coming back, and Mr. Keenan Allen is going to take some of that stuff. You got to remember, Keenan going to say, "I've been out, Herbert. I need the ball when I come in there." So what I'm saying is Keenan Allen is back, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Mike Williams, who was missing in action last week, is going to have something to say about that. So what I'm saying is there are other tight ends on this slate. I got you, Everett, but he's not a lock for me. He's not a lock for me.
I disagree. I think they might even hold Keenan out until after the bye.
They're not. He's playing.
He may play, but he's still a game time decision. I don't think he's over.
Josh Palmer's out this week.
Keenan Allen's
out. We're talking about Allen. I still don't think Allen is going to get a lot of bump in his.
Yeah, he is. Carter's going to play. Like I said, you can pick your poison in this game. The receivers, the tight ends, whatever you want. But I'm going to be more on the receivers because there are other tight ends that I like a little better. That's all I'm saying.
What about doing a Geno Walker, DK stack with Eckler back?
Oh yeah, you can put. I mean, out of all the options in this game, Eckler is my favorite option. So I mean, I love Eckler. I think Eckler is just he's become. Is Kelly still out?
Oh yeah, Kelly's out for weeks. Isaiah Still is going to play.
I mean, you see all the uses go to him, and you see how strong that rascal is. Did you see his workout regimen when he's jumping from bar to bar? And this guy like squats almost 600 or 700 pounds. This dude is a huh?
What did you back in the day?
Oh, I did some squats, but I wasn't like this rascal. This rascal just said, hell no. I'm telling you, this dude right here, whoo. I mean, I'm just saying he's a monster. I mean, I love Eckler, but I love the game. Now you're talking, please don't. The Ravens, listen, that Ravens game is going to be one of those old knuckleballers, that they're going to have. This game right here, now we're talking.
All right, let me give you another one, Swame, here. Willie mentioned it before. 49ers Chiefs. Man, this has goodness written over it. McCaffrey goes now to the 49ers. You got Debo there. You've got Kittle. You've got Ayuk. And then, of course, you got Kelsey, even though the 49ers are good against tight ends. But this is a game. This is a game that we may want to have a piece of. Yes or no?
Negative. Let me tell you why, Doc. This sounds like a good old-fashioned scrap. This is what I think are two good teams are going to come and clash. Typically, those games are great to watch. They typically aren't, fantasy goodness. I think the 49ers defense, even though they struggled last week, I think they're still pretty good. I think the Chiefs offense will still be able to maybe move the ball, especially what was able to happen against that defense last week. But I just don't know about fantasy goodness. If I had to take a piece here, it would be Debo for sure on one side. If McCaffrey's going to come in, how much he's going to play, if they're going to give, a package, if he's going to – I just don't know what they're going to do with McCaffrey right now. So it would be Debo on one side, and then coming back, this might surprise you, is not Mr. Kelsey, even though Mr. Kelsey, who loves this show, I know he's going to be involved because he's Mr. Big Game Kelsey, Walls. But you know who I would take, Doc? For some reason, I'm interested in Valdez Goose Egg Scantlin. If this any game he'll show up, it'll be a game like this. I don't have a lot of interest. However, if you ask me about do I want a lot of this game, no, I'll take Debo and I'll keep it moving. Thank you.
Willie is.
First of all, I disagree. Mm-hmm. Did you watch the Atlanta game last week? Did you watch it? I just want to say, listen. 74%. And I'm going to tell you who else is in play in this name. The pretty boy, Garasolo. He's in play in this game. He is in play. And the receivers, they get smashed by wide receivers. The Chiefs gives up 74.9% of their yards is on a pass. The most in the NFL. Listen, did you watch the Raiders? Did you watch Devontae? Did you watch? I mean, I'm just telling you, these receivers can eat them up. I'm just telling you, this game has some fantasy goods. And now you're going to add McCaffrey. Now, I'm not really interested in him, but this the threat of McCaffrey. They're going to do that play action. Shanahan like to do that boot going to the right. He like to do that boot going to the right. Man, I'm going to tell you, I love the receivers in this game. You could double stack this game with both receivers. This game is going to have some fantasy goodness. You all talking out of the side of your neck because there's going to be some scoring in this game. And I'm telling you, I'm going to have a couple of lineups. I can't believe I'm saying it. With Garasolo will be in a couple of my lineups. I'm serious. This game has a lot of fantasy goodness to it. And I will go back with Kelsey. You could do all you we'll want, but I'm going to have some of this game right here. I like this game.
I can't imagine that these are two very well-coached teams, two great coaches who are great play callers. I think this game hits about 48. Let me give you a team who, man, do you ever guys, you've watched Oprah Winfrey show. It's like, stuff for you, stuff for you, stuff for you. When you play the Detroit Lions, touchdown for you, touchdown for you, touchdown for you. How does Ezekiel Elliott not score? How does CD Lamb not score? How does Dalton Schultz not score? How did the Cowboys not put up 30 against the Lions, Swami?
Only if Dak comes out and he's, short arming some throws, or he's just off target a little bit, got a little bit of rust. If he's able to come out and knock some of that rust off, then I absolutely see them being able to put up probably 48 on their own instead of the last game's total. So I absolutely think that that he could come back and have a huge game.
Willie, are you in on this game? Because you can bring it back with Amon-Ra St. Brown, who gets Jordan Lewis, who stinks. So you could do a whole Dak, Zeke, Lamb, come back with St. Brown. You got a nice little stack that's going to be criminally underowned.
Well, then it's going to be criminally unowned by me because I like the Dallas side. I like the Dallas side. St. Brown would be St. out of my lineup. I won't have that basket one lineup there. I'm sorry. That Dallas defense is going to put a whip stain on the Lions, even though they're playing at home. But I will say this: those games, the Detroit games, they average 62 points. 62 points a game, the highest in the league when they play. So, but I just think I got other people that can play in the other games. I agree. Lamb is a play, Elliott's a play, but I'm not going to get to Elliott because there's another running back for the Raiders that will be locked in for me.
You and 38% of other people will have him too.
And thank you, and I will take that because the other 62% is going to miss out. Just like we had the dude from going against Cleveland. What did we say? We said he was a play.
I tell you what we say: order in the court. Can we just stay on the Cowboys game?
Okay, right, man. Like you said, Lamb is in play. They're all in play. But I ain't playing Schultz. Hell no, I ain't playing Schultz. No.
I'm interested in Schultz, and my favorite play might be Gallup.
Yeah,
Gallup is in play.
Gallup is a one-off. Gallup is a one-off, unless you want to double stack it. But I don't think you could double stack the Dallas passing game. I don't think so.
They had 3 rushing touchdowns, and Dak might make 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You might play like that's why I say even though it's a great game, but you could get clips if they're running game go for if Pollard get 3 or gets 2 touchdowns and Zeke gets 2, then you're gonna be mad.
Now, Swami, I have a feeling you like this game. I can see where this game could explode, but I don't know. The Packers are playing the Commanders. We're not expecting a ton of points, but man, Aaron Poo-Poo Rodgers has been poo-poo. But the Commanders' pass defense might be worse than Aaron Rodgers. So is this one of those games where Aaron Rodgers gets his 260 and 3 touchdowns? Taylor Heineke is just good enough to keep McLaurin involved. Do we want a Packers stack here?
You say we're on? We're alive? Okay.
We're live.
I'm here with Mr. Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT. Mr. Rodgers, that don't think you got it anymore. What do you got to say to all these folks who just don't think you are Mr. Aaron Rodgers anymore? You said tell Walls what? He can kiss your what? That's what I thought, Mr. Rodgers. Don't make that face. He is still Mr. Aaron Rodgers, and if he can't do it this week, Houston, we got a problem. It's over if he can't do it this week. Who's in play for me? Let me make sure I'm looking right in the camera here. Mr. Allen Lazard, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. I'm interested in that entire team against the Commanders. And I told Walls this. I said the last time these two teams faced, which wasn't that long ago, just last year, Mr. Heineke was able to put together a game. And you know who his favorite target was? Mr. Terry McLaurin. It's just interesting, Doc. I'm not saying, as Walls would say, it's a core, but this game is very interesting. I agree with you. This has some opportunities for fantasy goodness. Yes, Walls, we know it could bust. We know, we get it. It could show up and be total bust. But we're talking about, is there something here? And I believe it is.
But do you know?
Wait. Quick question. Terry McLaurin is good, but Jair Alexander's back, Swami. Does that bother you with McLaurin at all?
Absolutely. It bothers me with McLaurin. But for some reason, you know how it is when every week it's somebody who we know might be able to do a little something, and then for whatever reason, somebody falls down, so two DBs run into each other. This weird stuff happens, right? I don't know. I don't wish things like people, turf toe or hamstring. I don't know what might happen, but stranger things, Doc, have happened, which have allowed for these kind of things to kind of manifest. And for some reason, I'm just saying, last year, Heineke was able to come in and create a little fantasy goodness.
Okay.
He's coming back this week, and who knows what they got to lose? They're going to be going for it.
Willie?
Yeah, they scored 16 points in that game you're talking about. They really went off. 16
fantasy
points.
Goodness has nothing to do with points.
Okay. The only one that had fantasy goodness was McLaurin, 122, and 1 touchdown. Okay?
That's
28
good.
fantasy points.
That's good.
Okay?
That's the only one.
900.
Well, he should be. He should be. Because they stink. And I think Green Bay's defense is going. I agree. I like the Green Bay side. You can play them. And I think even the running game is in play. Because, look, if you looked at that Chicago game, Pettis was in play. If you looked at Pettis, listen, they made everybody look playable. So, if I had to play somebody, it would be Dubs, And Tunyon, if I had to play somebody, I would do that. I agree. Rodgers would get 3. I'm going to tell you this. If Rodgers cannot do it this week, just like with Tom Brady,
I'm done with him. I promise I'm done with him.
I'm out.
Willie, let's stay right there. Tom Brady, is this a week where I see two ways this goes? One way is they run it up, put up 40 points, and they just keep on going. The other way is when maybe it's like a 24-7. So do we go with Brady? Do we go with Evans? Do we go with Godwin? Or do we just say, you know what? I can't deal with this anymore.
All right, let me tell you what I got to say. Next.
Doc, I'm done with the GOAT, Doc.
All right. So next, Houston against the Las Vegas Raiders. You've got Pierce, you've got Jacobs, you've got Adams, you've got Cooks, you've got Hunter Renfrow. You've got a lot of things going on here, Mr. Willie Walls. Who are you playing?
It starts with Jacobs. It starts with him. And who's that tight end that's the backup?
Foster Moreau.
Huh? What's his name?
Moreau.
I like him. I like him a lot. And, of course, you got Adams. But they've actually – Houston surprisingly has been pretty decent against the wideouts, So it might be like a Renfro type of game. But listen, I like in this game, even though he's been cheeks, I think you could run it back with Cooks this game. I like Cooks, and me and Swame was talking about it. You know what I mean? I think you could run it back.
Where's my flag, Walls? Flag on the play. Been decent.
Well, real quick, before you get started, I am not playing Josh Jacobs. I may be the biggest idiot on planet Earth, but I will not play a 30% own Josh Jacobs because if he gets a hammy, I'm going to get rid of 30% of my competition if this guy doesn't get 18 points.
Listen. What I got to say is this. Who is the third most who gets more usage than anybody else besides McCaffrey? It's Josh Jacobs, 83%. Just behind McCaffrey at 83.2%. This dude has been a monster. Stop disrespecting him.
I'm not. I'm doing game theory.
That Houston run defense. That Houston run defense is so bad. They are so bad. Ain't no flags. Ain't no flags.
Where's my whistle?
Josh, let me tell you something. This is what he's going to get. He will have 150, at least 150 total yards, 2 touchdowns, and 6,500. If you don't got him, night. He will be in my lineup. I'm not overthinking that. John, he will be in my lineup. Yes, and yes.
So, let me ask you a question here along the same lines. Do we actually like Jacobs a smidge more on FanDuel because he's more expensive? and people won't play him. Where on DK, he's literally going to be pasted into every single lineup.
Doc, I'm gonna be honest. I try not to overthink plays like this. You playing a team like Houston, you got that price, and you're getting 25 touches a game. Doc, I don't play. I try not to play. I should say, even thinking about injuries. Meaning, if somebody's healthy and they're in the game, I don't play thinking about hammies, turf toes, any of that kind of stuff. If you are the right play, right price, right matchup, I have to put you in there and then find some other kind of way to distinguish my lineup. I get what you're saying about the leverage play. Makes sense, but I don't like to get away from free squares. It makes it very difficult for you if that person hits and they're in 30% of lineups. Now you got an uphill battle as well on the other side. So, and especially when there's not a lot of other backs in that spot at that price, I can see if he had a little bit of competition and you could say, hey, I think I want to fade him. Other than Walker, who we already acknowledged was a great play, there's not a lot of folks around that price range. You're even going to have to go up.
Well, there's Damian Pierce. There's DeAndre Swift. There's Joe Mixon if you want to go up a little bit. There's Zeke if you want to go down a little bit.
I don't think any of them have Josh Jacobs' 30-point type of game. Like that's not the projection I'm putting them on. But Walls, I just want to address your little bit of disrespect to Mr. Adams. And so this Houston defense is giving up 30 to Pittman. They've given up 22 to Mike Williams. They've given up 22 to Sutton. They have been absolutely thrashed by wide receivers, and I don't see why you don't think
not on everyone. I'm just telling you, I like the run. The run defense has been.
But the games that I skipped were quarterbacks like, say, Justin Fields, right? So he's always going to be thrown out as the anomaly when we're talking about quarterback receiver play because they just don't do that in Chicago. Right, but the rest of these teams play well.
Yeah, but Derek Carr is okay. But what I'm telling you is, I'm more interested in the running side. Listen, don't get me wrong. I got Carr in fantasy for season long. Yeah, for season long. But I'm just saying, I just think that Josh. I'm not. Listen, and I agree with Doc on this one. I love him even more on FanDuel because his price is $8,400. And yes, I'm going to play him. I'm playing him on both sides.
All the backs are a little bit more expensive on FanDuel, right?
I'm going to play him on FanDuel and not on DK. I may lose. I may be fine, but I'd rather.
You want to hate yourself because I'm going to tell you, myself and Swame has done this. If the back is a play, he's a play.
Okay, so if I play 3 lineups, which I do, I will put him on 1 because I don't want to have fun.
Please put him on 1. We're telling you because if the rest.
I know he's good. I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing that you said stick to a process. And my process tells me I'm not jumping on board with 33% of people are jumping.
And some processes say, fade Stevenson, the dude for New England. No. I mean, some processes said that, and that bastard got 26 points, and at that point, listen. It's different ways. Just like the way to be different last week was, playing the Indianapolis running back, instead of Benjamin. You follow what I'm saying? So you could have played that, and still it's a way to do it. But when you got a play like this, man, there's 9 other. You got to be, you're not gonna beat me in that one position. There's gonna be 62% of the people are gonna be mad. And I'm not going to be in that position. Me and Swame have done that before, and we were cheeks, and we were mad that we did that,
No, I appreciate that. And I hear you. I totally hear you. Yeah. All right, let me give you one more game before we wrap this up. Cincinnati and Atlanta, 2 teams that have been bad but can be good. I mean, Atlanta has Kyle Pitts, and Cincinnati is not good, and Logan Wilson is out. You've got Drake London, who hasn't done much recently, and William Jackson is not playing, their best cover guy. For Cincinnati, Chase has a good week. T. Higgins, we haven't heard from in a while. He's healthy. Hayden Hurst is there. Joe Mixon is there. Swame, can you get behind this game?
I can. There's only 2 things that I want to get them out the way early that kind of give me cause for pause. And the first one, obvious, is that last week they had such a great game, Barrow and Chase. And so that recency bias tends to get a little bit more eyes on folks. The ownership seems to take a little bit of a bump up, a couple of points. And so for that reason, I'm always cautious about that. And then the other thing is that because Atlanta is like been this kind of scrappy, up and down, you don't really know which one they're going to get. Is this the one where they're going to keep pace, even just a little bit? Not saying that the game is close and back and forth, but can they push this game into the second half where we're not just seeing Joe Mixon and the two guys behind him, in the second half of the game, and they're not really throwing it much and attempts are down and we just don't get it. So I'm hoping that it's more of the Bengals are still throwing the ball into the second half kind of game, in which case then I'll probably lean in more Higgins this week than Chase, even though Chase is absolutely the guy, no question. But it's time for Higgins. As Walls would say, he's got to be in labor and delivery right now, somewhere around 15, 16 weeks. He's in the fourth trimester.
Willie, you like this game?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm not going to have as much of it, but I will have Chase, and I might double stack it, or so I'm going to say bring him back with Higgins. See, the thing about it is, ever since what's made them better is they have gone to the shotgun. He stopped going on the center, and even Mixon has run better from the shotgun. Now he averages 5.9 yards a carry. Going from Chicago instead of averaging 3.3 coming from under the center. Now, and this is the other thing. Atlanta gets killed from a shotgun running back play. So, don't be surprised if Mixon has a big game here. But listen, I'm just saying this. I love Barrow, but I think if I'm going to go with a receiver, I think I'm going to go with Higgins because he's due. He is really, really due. But they are definitely in play. I don't really like a lot from the Atlanta side because they get they get a hodgepodge of people. It could be Pruitt. It could be Algier. It could be this, it could be whoever. They don't have, set guys like Cincinnati where the ball is going to go. But the quarterback Barrow is definitely in play.
This could be a sneaky Mixon, Higgins, Barrow week.
Yeah, I like that. That's my stock that I'm thinking.
That's what I said. I mean, Mixon runs well from that shotgun, and now he has better vision, and now the line is playing a little better. And the thing that people don't understand is Atlanta has a 30% in pressure rate, number 30 in pressure rate, so they don't get pressure. So if you give him that, he's going to eat you up.
All right, Swami, we need the Swami Says pick of the week. Who you got, my friend?
Does Aaron Rodgers count? Can I ask that first? Because I know everybody's kind of down
counts.
on him.
Yeah,
does that count,
counts.
Walls, or is that count?
I mean,
the Swami says Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
No,
all right.
Let me know.
Yeah, okay. I like two people, and this is going to be off the board. What's that Denver's tight end? Dolchich.
Yeah,
I like Dolchich, and I think he played on 80. He played on 81% of the routes.
Yeah,
this dude right here can truly play.
Well, he's good. He was good at UCLA.
He's a baller. And then another guy I like at tight end, it will be the Tampa Bay tight end. Yes.
This could be a 2 tight end week, guys. This could be a 2 tight end week between Otten, between Dulcich, between Hayden Hurst, between Everett, between Andrews. I think the guy who wins $1 million might have 2 tight ends in his lineup.
Can I give you one more since he gave you 2, Doc?
Yeah.
Somebody I'm interested in at 3,000 is Chenault. I think if he plays, if he's healthy, I think he could be very interesting.
What about Terrace Marshall?
I don't know if I'm as.
No. I
know what Chenault can do.
I gave you Wan'Dale Robinson last week. I'm giving you Terrace Marshall this week.
And guess what? And I won't play that rascal this week. That rascal was in 23% of the thing and 34% of the pass. So hell no.
That's what I mean. If Chenault is healthy, he's projected number 2. We all know they're going to be down against the Bucks. He should have some opportunities, and I think he's a playmaker. He's the kind of guy who plays hard and might make a play or 2.
I'm not Michael Jackson looking for you. So
remember I said it, Willie. Remember I said it.
Swami said it.
I want to see him in the lineup, though.
Okay. All right. Time now to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. For Doc, Willie, and the Swami, be well and
Take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit,